Over and done with. Time to...
You can't trust anything written by mere men. When this argument arises, I like to ask them where they got this information from.
Well, hold up, what's happening right now? Well, what's happening is he wrote the ending to his book, he closed it out as nicely as he's capable of, and then he realized there was another objection he wanted to add, and so instead of putting it before the outro, he just kind of stuck it right at the end of the document, because who fucking cares? Who cares? Almondo, right? Right, man? Why bother doing anything that makes any sense at all? Yeah? It's just your first book. It's not like it matters or anything. It has your name on it. I guess who cares? Did you even read this pile of shit before you published it? Huh? Did you? Of course you did. And then you said, perfect! Off to the printers! What were you thinking, man? At any point during the writing of this thing, did you stop to think at all? How is it even possible for someone to put their name on something like this? Who would do this to themselves? Almondo! I mean this with absolute sincerity. This is the worst book I've ever seen. It's the worst book I've ever even heard of. It's not even a contest. I've read a few books before that were silly, you know, with like silly claims, silly arguments, but those authors usually at least had the courtesy to run a spell check. And I've read other books with plenty of spelling and grammar errors too, although I have to say I've never seen anything quite like this in that regard. But even if I'd read a book with arguments as bad as yours, and spelling and grammar as bad as yours, and basic formatting as bad as yours, you know what I'm pretty sure they still didn't have? Massive heaping piles of plagiarized material. As in easily 50% of the book, probably more. Not only have I never read a book anywhere even close to this bad, I didn't even know books this bad existed. I assumed that anyone who would bother to take the time to write a book would have the tiny shred of self-respect it takes to at least use their own words. And then once they've done that, to maybe put them through some kind of basic proofreading process. But no, apparently none of that matters to you. Your book, Almondo, taught me nothing about anything you wanted me to learn about. I think it goes without saying that despite all your guarantees and your misplaced confidence, I am not a Christian after having read it, of course. But I did learn a lot by reading it. I learned an awful lot about you, and none of it was good. This thing you've assembled from other people's work is a disgrace, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But I don't imagine you will be, because I don't think you're capable of shame. If you were, this disgusting object would not exist. Fuck you, Almondo. I'm out of here.